Welcome back, everyone. Going into the third hour here of Bounce Power Dark Side Week number 4. Adam, what's up?
Well, I would like to see where Otto, Belsa, and the recently liberated Agent Talon end up. So to determine that, we have a couple of options, right? If you have any Destiny points, which I don't think you do, I should spend them.
No, we used them all.
Okay, so you could have had you had one to just say like, oh, there's an Imperial safe house, hidden somewhere in the upper city, and we're there. But instead, someone will need to roll probably streetwise to like find somewhere safe to hide out.
Well, okay. I would think in terms of where we're going, the only lead that we really have is that Otto saw the rebels in the north or whatever on when he took that trip to the factory area.
Well, no, there's where you saw Lana be
at the
kidnapped
bar.
as well.
Oh yeah, at the
so
bar.
in the mid-city.
Okay, yeah, we could go there as well. Does anyone have the streetwise? I only have 2 greens.
I have 3 green.
What about you, Belsa? You're muted.
I got 2 green.
Okay.
So if
Jesse
you
makes the roll.
If you all work together, so Jesse, if you're the primary roller, you get your streetwise, and then you get 1 blue die, 1 boost die from each person helping. So Otto and Belsa will help.
So 2 total?
Yeah, 2 total. The difficulty, I guess, describe for me the kind of place you're looking for. Like, what do you want out of this roll?
I think for us, the place we're looking for is somewhere in the upper city. So it's relatively safe for us, but at the same time, it's someplace that we will not be discovered or looked in at. But it's nothing that it's not a place that we're like we're not digging deep. We're not like trying to this is a quick stop to just
right. This isn't you're not settling down. You're just finding a place to reset.
Reconnoiter or whatever.
Reconnoiter. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's say let's give you two difficulty. Yeah, two purples should do it.
All right, streetwise and activate. Jesus
Christ.
What the
fuck?
Whoa! So much advantage.
How does that happen?
You got pretty much every conceivable advantage symbol.
You can't roll better in advantages than that.
You could get. I guess you could have gotten 1 more had you gotten instead of a success.
So what does that mean?
So much advantage.
A failure, but man, are you proud of that failure?
You don't find anywhere to stop, but it's damn good to be in charge again. So you can obviously clear your strain because you definitely don't have like 9 strain.
Great.
And then let's take a look at streetwise what you can do, because this is actually kind of the same role. Yeah, reveal additional rumors or alternative sources. So here's the thing, right? There are protocols in place, Imperial protocols, and I think this is why. This is why. Like, were you Imperial officers in public, this would be perfect for you. Basically, the whole upper city becomes an Imperial safe house as soon as something bad happens, right? Like, protocols fall into place where people are following orders. They're going home. They're closing their doors. They're set to clear the streets and everything for all of you. As you do this, you realize like everyone is doing exactly what they're supposed to do when the rebels attack. Like, these people are a well-disciplined, ordered people. However, because you're planning to keep hidden, that means that you're on the outs. So the only place you can really go to get out of the way is the middle city or lower, right? Like, the upper city is an Imperial territory, but you're not Imperials right now, are you?
So we I think then our best bet should be finding a place in an alley or somewhere along the way to either one of the hover tubes, whatever the hell they're called, the elevators, to get to the mid-city. And in some way, just as we're making our way there, stay out of sight, but also explain that we have to find Lana, because if she tells them anything, we're screwed.
Okay. Yeah, so the three of you are approaching one of the lifts that head down into the middle or lower city, and there are some municipal guards there, and there are some people like crowded around the tube, trying to get home to safety. Right, some of them live in the middle city, and this crowd is mixed. It's like 80% human, but you see maybe like a couple of Duras and like an Ithorian in the crowd, and the guards are shouting like, "Everybody, stay back!" And like pushing them because people are just trying to like crowd the lift. And these are middle city folks; they're not as disciplined, and they're just trying to get out of the way of all the chaos. They don't want to be. Basically, they're just fleeing because they don't want to be like mistakenly held responsible, or like especially the aliens to be like, "Oh, it's a filthy alien. Maybe you blew up the building." And so you see this crowd. Yeah, do you want to try to like join into the crowd and head into the middle city?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll carry your hiding success forward from before, and yeah, you there's a little bit of a wait, and I think that we see you filter into the crowd, and one of the Duras like says to the other, and we get subtitles because they're speaking whatever the Duras language is, and he says to his companion, he's like I told you we should have left Terrace, and his companion says, yes, but this is our home, whatever the Imperials say, and he says. He says, once all this chaos is over with, we'll talk. There's still some hope. The New Republic might be able to do something. And his companion says, don't be a fool. The New Republic doesn't care about us. And and we hear that conversation as you slip into the crowd and make your way to the middle city.
It's working.
Yeah, right?
It's working.
So you get into the elevator, and none of you have been to the middle city before, have you?
No.
You guys have all been on the surface. Okay, cool. So yeah, the middle city of Terrace is you can't see the sky, right? It's lower. There might be certain areas where it's broken above and there's some sunlight, but it's predominantly lit by artificial means. It's humid. The walls have a lot more graffiti. It's run down. It's obvious that the thin imperial veneer on the surface of Terrace doesn't get that far down.
It's like Midgar.
Yeah, exactly. And so you step out into this sort of catwalk, and it's dark. There's a lot of neon signs. You can imagine that it's, especially around the lifts, there's a lot of kind of like vice dens. So it's like sabak parlors, houses of ill repute, cantinas everywhere, because that's where the upper city folk, they come down in the tubes to slum. So all the kind of all those kind of red light district places are around the elevator.
Right.
People start to disperse, and there's a palpable tension down here. You see maybe like a mixed gang of like humans and aliens standing by a group of swoop bikes. And they kind of like are watching the crowd hungrily as these people come out. So where do you go? What do you do?
Well, I mean, I guess the thing
Wait,
is
has Otto been here before?
No.
When he followed.
Yeah, no.
Lana?
Otto's been here because he followed Lana, so he would know at least how to get us to. If he snuck and followed Lana.
No, that was in upper city.
That was in the upper city.
Yeah, that was upper city.
Upper city.
Oh,
Well,
all right.
I'm the only one I think that's been down there.
Yep.
Oh, well then this is a complete misunderstanding on my part, because I thought they were in like the mid city when they had that. Otherwise, I would have sent us to the upper city to find her, but I guess we're in the lower or the mid city now. So
Can't I have a comms? Can't I comms them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know we're here though.
No, but I
guess-
can like switch on I can switch it back on and try to get a hold of Theron. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
Sure.
Well, so where do you go when you emerge from the tunnel? Are you guys still looking for somewhere to just sit and have a planning meeting, or?
So I guess we would go straight into a near cantina.
Okay.
On the lift.
Okay. Yeah. So the crowd starts to disperse, and you're heading towards the nearest cantina, and a tough-looking Weequay and some of his human friends step in front of you. They're wearing like the Star Wars equivalent of like biker jackets, and he's got a blaster. He's not holding it, but he kind of like holds his vest aside so you can see it. He's got a holster, and he's like, "You look lost, strangers." And like steps in front of you.
Does he look threatening?
Oh yeah, he's definitely like they're doing the like this is our town where you go and like they're basically getting in your way so that they can extort you for some money or mug you or whatever.
In the face, sorry?
I don't have a pistol. Oh yeah, I do. I have a blaster pistol. Yeah, I just take my blaster pistol and like put it to his gut and lean up to his ear and say
No subtlety. All right.
and just say I just lean it to his ear and say, "Please move."
Okay. All right. Make a
All right.
coerce. Make a coerce roll.
Okay.
He doesn't finish his line. He's like, wrong part of tap. And then he's just like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He starts doing the like he's getting ready. You can see him like practicing his lines. And he walks up and he's like he knew what the next thing he had to say was, but then suddenly like everything's gone wrong. Okay. So to coerce this guy. The difficulty will be, let's see, Swoop Gang.
Is there no like coerce with physical meat? Is that still the same coercion?
That's coercion. Yeah, coercion is issuing a threat, whether accompanied by
okay.
hostile action or implied, such as gesturing or pointing towards a weapon.
Gotcha. What am I rolling?
So you roll that against a difficulty of 2 for this guy. He's got 2 willpower.
Okay. I mean, it's 2 against 2. It's not the worst. Okay.
oh, nice.
Oh, wait.
you
Why
gotta,
didn't it-
you gotta roll it again. It didn't add the difficulty.
Oh, I didn't
God
click
damn
out
it.
of it. It never clicks out of it. It's so annoying. Wow, fuck.
All right. So the advantage in this case, I think, is that like they recognize that you're not going to be like an easy pushover, but they're not intimidated.
How many
so-
are there?
You can affect. So you like the other 2, I think. Take notice. There's 3 total.
Okay.
So you step up and you like pull your gun out, or you go to pull your gun out. And I think you don't quite get that far. The other 2, like point their guns at you. And he looks at your gun and he's like, "Nice blaster. Imperial issue."
So I don't even whisper, "Please move" in his ear in this situation?
Yeah, I think they interrupt you. Yeah, you don't get a chance.
I kind of just look at the other 2, and then I just plainly stare at the guy in the center and say, "Please move."
I greatly push my way to the front,
Okay.
and my accent has become now like that of Hans Gruber in Die Hard when he's just and he's like, "Oh, jeez," from that. And I'm like, please move. We've had a long day, and we just want to have a drink. We don't want any trouble. We're just. If you have a problem, we'll give you some money to let us in. Just enough, man. It's been a rough day.
Okay. Yeah. Make a charm roll.
All right.
Same difficulty. Two purple. Yep.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So he looks at you and looks at the 3 of you, and he's like, "Yeah, I hear it's been tough up there." Looks like he looks around. There's like the crowd kind of coming out of the tube, and the tubes keep running and bringing more people down. He says, "Looks like the middle city's gonna get busy. It pays to have friends." And he like taps like a little like insignia thing. It's like a blue skull with fangs, and he's like, "We're the Rancor gang. You're gonna remember that. Anybody causes you any trouble down here?" And he looks around. He's like, "You come to me." And then he like holds his hand out like, "Yeah, you're gonna pay me because we're gonna protect you."
Does anyone have any credits? Because I don't think we have any credits.
I mean, I have a credit in my
don't know.
pistol.
I don't remember making any credits ever in this fucking game.
I mean, you would have started
No,
you would have started with some.
I have. Wait. I thought
I mean, we
had
have
credits.
we should have some credits on us because we
Where are
were.
credits?
Do
Are those?
we have like an ISB
Oh.
credit card, like a
I have-
company card?
I have.
This is when it turns to the credit card commercial, and Belsa looks at the camera, whips out her Imperial Black card, put it on my card.
Yeah.
I have 74 credits to my name.
Okay.
Where do we see that at?
It's under character info. Is where it should
I have
be.
112 credits, so I put 100 in his hand.
Okay. Yeah, he like, kind of like jostles the coins and puts them in his pocket, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a good start." And he kind of like looks you up and down and looks over his shoulder at a cantina, and he says, "That one's one of ours." And he gestures like, "Go on in."
I grab Otto's hand and lower the pistol, and I'm like, "Come on, let's go get a drink."
Okay. We like walk past, and when they're out of earshot range, I just kind of like turn my head to Theron and say, "Do you want that money back?"
No, my friend, there'll be much more money later. Don't worry. Back when we're in charge.
Fair enough.
So as you walk away, you can hear them talking, and one of them's like, "How much did he give you?" He's like, 100 credits. And the guy's like, 100 credits? Man, you could retire with that much. And then they're like, and then the other guy's like, "Man, you're short-sighted. We're gonna squeeze him for more. Keep an eye on those three." And yeah, and they like go back over to like lean on their bikes toughly. So you head into this like dingy cantina, and we wipe to the upper city. And we're in a like a medical center. There's a big, the big Imperial Medical Bureau like logo, and it's glowing sort of soft red. And there are a bunch of people sitting in basically in benches. It's like the waiting room. And there's a nurse walking around like talking to people and checking on them and kind of doing triage. And it's really quiet, and everybody's kind of suffering in more or less in silence. And so the nurse comes over to you, Lana. And she says to you, how are you hurt? And she like looks at you, you've got like some blood on you. She's like, and she kind of like kneels down to like look you in the eye, and she's like checking for, signs of concussion or whatever.
I hold up my hand, and it's like, and I like put it really closely to her face, and I'm like, well, here's one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hold it there, making sure she sees. And I lift up and show like the stab wound that's like in my stomach.
Yeah, and she looks around, and you can see like most people are like breathing from like tanks or have like concussions or something. And yeah. she's like, "Oh, you poor thing. How are you hurt? What happened? You look like you've been stabbed." And she's like got like a first aid kit, and so she's like putting like a bandage on you.
Yeah, and I sort of said, I was like, yeah, I think I obviously lie. Like, yeah, I did actually in the chaos. Did you hear what happened out there?
She nods. She says, "Oh, it's terrible. I terrorists, members of the Rebel Alliance, they blew up some buildings in downtown, no less. I mean, you hear about this kind of violence in the middle city all the time, but up here, I thought we were safe. Oh, and with the Moff being assassinated, it's just terrible. I have lived on Terrace my whole life, and this is it's the worst it's ever been."
And I'm just like trying to be as understanding as possible, even though like I have a hard time giving a shit. And and I say, well, yeah, I was kind of near I had no idea what was going on. I was near the blast, and no, I think I got something. I think I got something in here.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, luckily the damage doesn't seem to be too bad. Not a lot of tearing, but you should see a doctor." And she stands up and she says, "I just need your Imperial ID. We'll have you in no time."
Okay. I'm a bounty hunter. Am I gonna have like false identification as well? That's like authentic.
I mean, I don't know. Are you?
I mean, I would think I should. If I'm a
Didn't
bounty
she ask for
hunter.
your Imperial ID?
Oh,
Yeah, because she just wants. Basically, it's like your health insurance, right?
Okay,
Say what you will about the Empire. As long as you're a human being and
they
not
have
a
amazing health
they
insurance.
have a decent health care. Yeah.
Empire sound a lot like England.
As
Yeah,
long as you're a human being.
Go figure, right? Like, yep.
Yeah, so I guess I give her my ID, and I'm like, the sooner the better. I have to go find my friends. They might have been caught in the blast.
Okay. So I guess that's the question, right? Like, do you want to have prepared some like fake ID in advance, or do you just give her like your actual?
I give her my actual ID because I'm
ID.
I'm not in the spotlight at all with these people, so
Okay.
I've been mostly behind the scenes.
Yeah, so she walks over to the machine. We follow her, and she slots your ID into the scanner. And Theron, what prepared identification has the Imperial Security Bureau got for Lana? Right, like it's her name and picture, but what does the nurse think she is, or who does she think she is?
The name that she was given was Lulu Blostatek.
Of course.
And she is a 3rd level Imperial engineer.
Okay, cool. All right. So the nurse comes back and she hands you the ID, and she's like, well, we're as you can see, we're very busy, but we'll have a doctor see you as soon as we can, Lulu, and don't worry. And she like puts her hand on your shoulder. She's like, we'll have you fixed up in no time, I promise. The doctors here are very good.
Before she takes the hand away, I'm like, pain meds. And I just like pull her hand off.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you poor thing, of course. And she reaches into her little like nurse's kit, and she takes out a plastic like dermal patch and pulls the backing off of it and like puts it on the inside of your arm. And it like tingles a little at first, and then you feel like a cool like wave of serenity kind of pass over you. Right, yeah. Your boiling rage is numbed a little bit, and everything gets like a little bit Vaseline lens. And
so I sort of just like lean back and just try to chill as I'm like looking at all the people in there.
Okay, cool. So back in the middle city, the three of you are at a table in this busy cantina, and it's full of all kinds of grimy looking people. And you're brought to a table by the server droid, and you can order drinks, but you have the privacy of the crowded room.
We need to find that girl. She knows everything about us. She knows our plans. And now she's captured Otto?
I look at Theron and then kind of like look back at Belsa and say, don't you know people on this planet? Can't you ask them where she's at?
Us?
Excuse me?
You don't have any Imperial contacts here that you can reach out to?
You're getting that double barrel snootiness.
No, Otto, we don't have any Imperial contacts we can reach out to. That's why we were sent here in the first place. Is her comm still on? Have you even tried it?
I look down at my comms and click it on. Lana?
Yeah, so we get the scene. So Lana, you're in the so you're in the waiting room, and maybe you don't notice it at first because it sounds like a little distant. It's like kind of somewhere you hear the like
high on meds.
I'm like looking around.
So we hear this like boop, 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 and it's like it's quiet in the room, and everyone kind of like looks at you and there's some whispering, and there's like a droid, this like white matte like droid by the door, and he's like and he like points to a sign that says like please turn off your comms while in the waiting room, and he like taps the sign and looks at you.
And I just sort of like I'm still just like what the fuck, and I'm still high as a kite. I don't know what's going on, and then I go, it's my brother. I got just real quick, it's an emergency.
At this point, I'm just like, of course the comms wouldn't work, Belsa. Of course this is not good. And then I get interrupted.
And then you hear me just go, who the fuck are you guys?
And my eyes just widen really big, and I look at Elsa, and I'm just like, oh shit. And I just hand the thing to Theron. I hand the comms that they're on. And I say, sir, Lana for you.
Lucky planned it.
Hello, is this Lulu Blastatech?
And I go, yes, father.
Ah, dear, I've been so worried about you. Where are you?
Like, where the fuck do you think I am? I'm in the hospital. What the hell?
The hospital. Last we heard, you were being escorted away by friends?
Yes, I'm supposed to kill you. I kind of whisper that though. So yes, I'm supposed to kill you. Like just whisper it so people around me can't hear.
Yeah, and I think most people are doing that thing where they're polite and they're ignoring you, but like you like say something and you're like, I'm supposed to kill you. And the white 3PO droid is just like, so rude.
You're supposed to kill me. And why is that?
Listen, Dad, I can't talk about it here.
Tell me one thing. How did you escape?
I agreed. You know that thing I just said. Yeah, I kind of agreed to that.
And the rebels let you go without fuss? A known Imperial agent?
Oh, right. See, Dad, it's a funny story, actually. I mean, it's a funny story. You know that thing that you constantly hold over my head and I kind of want to kill you for? Yeah, no, they have that now.
Aaron, calmly puts the comm, back into Otto's hand and, just, snaps his fingers for a drink.
Mhm.
I imagine I don't have access to any communications off world, yeah?
Not from here, no.
All right,
But if you got access to off-world ones, you could have access to a secure line. I think that you have encrypted codes that preempt any kind of Imperial. As long as you're using an Imperial network, you can get a
So
hold of it.
I snap for a drink and then pick up the comm again and have a long drawn out sigh and say, and what have you decided?
Then I'm gonna get this shrapnel out of my stomach.
I mean regarding me, dear.
Well, I still fucking hate you, but I kind of, I kind of hate them more right now.
Interesting.
And then I immediately stop and say, hey, can I talk to sister?
I hand the comms back over to Otto.
Yes.
I look at you, kind of yes, this is your sister.
I look at the comms like, don't fuck around with me. Give the phone or give the comms to someone else. Give it to Belsa.
I kind of look at everyone very cautiously and slide the comms. Lana wants to speak to you. Belsa.
Hello, this is your mother speaking. Lana, where are you?
I'm so close to. I'm you just I have the comms to and I'm just oh my god. And I'm sure people are staring at me, and I'm just trying so hard to ignore them right now. And I'm listen, I need your help with something. I need you to help me plan something. And I sort of try to get as quiet as I can. And I got this tracker. I'm gonna get it removed, but I can't just dump it.
I grab the comm from Belsa, and I'm like, dear, it's a lovely plan, but how do we know you're not up to mischief again?
Because I'm confiding in you, Dad. Why don't you love me?
It's not that I don't love you, dear. It's that I'm so very, very disappointed in you.
Yeah, we'll talk
Elsa
about
takes
this
the comm
later.
back. And she's just like, where are you? We're coming to get you.
I just told you, Mom. I'm in the hospital. Upper City. Come find me. I'll send you the coordinates.
I grab the thing back, and I'm like, no, dear. Unfortunately, we're busy in the middle city, so unless you come to us, there's no way we'll find you. And I'm not sure if your friends have the package or not, but there are 8 hours left before we find out. So you better hurry. And I just turn off the comms.
Okay.
as the comms click off, you see me just like lean back, and like some people are looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, we have a weird relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you lean back and like there's like a woman nearby, and she's like, got bandaged around her head, and she looks at you and she's just like, family.
Yeah.
I hate my dad too.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, family. I think this is why my daughter never calls me. She like looks at the floor.
I like reach over and grab the comms, and as I'm taking it back, can I not be the sister next time they're on? Just in the future?
Theron makes a mental note of making sure that when they get back to headquarters that his call sign is changed to Little Sister.
Right. Yeah, next time TK161 like sees him. Awesome. So I think we cut to you're in the doctor's office, Lulu, and you're like laying on your back, and you're like your shirt pulled up, and there's this doctor. He's got his little like doctor mask on and like his outfit, and he's he looks like tired. He's like a younger guy.
Is he hot?
And he's been working for like the whole day, like, and then just like people in and out through this whole like chaos. And he's got a little medical scanner like over you, and we can see on the scanner there's this little like metal device, and he shakes his head and he's like, what kind of trouble did you get in? You got something wedged in here real good. And he like looks at his tools, and he sees the patch in your arm, and he's like, so I mean, I can get this out, but what? I mean, you're gonna have to tell me what happened. I have to file a report and everything, and this is a stab wound. So he kind of scowls at you like, best to come clean.
And I go, yeah, I mean, it's a long story. I've really it's my parents. They don't trust me, and I kind of just want this out. And I tried to stab myself to get it out, and you can see how it went. Like you can see how it went. It didn't go well for me.
Yeah.
I almost I scared a guy. I think he peed his pants as he ran away, and I really would just like this removed now.
He says, it's like, okay, all right. Well, I mean, I work for you, right? Citizens of the Empire and all that, but he like shakes his head. He's like, it's been a long day. Let me get to work. And and so we cut to the plate, this like metal plate, and he drops the little tracker onto it, a little bloody like quick splat. And you've got bandages around your midsection now, and he's like bandaged up your hand. And he looks at it and kind of gives you a suspicious look, and he takes his like mask off. And he's like, well, short of a back to tank, I've done everything I can do. Those meds are going to wear off, though, and when they do, you might be a little sore. You want me to write you a prescription for something?
No, and I grab the tracker and just automatically stuff it in my pocket, and I'm like, no, I'll be good.
Yeah, he looks at it, and he's like he's sort of like confused.
And I start to get up, like I don't even care. I kind of like wince in some of the pain, but then I'm just like, I put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm like, don't worry. And
he kind of stops you, and he's like, you're both really close, and he says to you, he's like, hey, if you're in some kind of trouble, there are people who can help.
And I look at him and I shake my head and I said, no, there's not. And I just walk out.
Okay. Yeah. And I think he follows you as you walk out. His eyes follow you, and he kind of just like sighs and pulls his mask back up, and he's like, all right, send the next one in as you walk out. All right. So you've got the tracker. Where do you go?
I'm going to go find Dad and give him a piece of my mind. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to a cantina in the upper city, and I'm going to try and slip the tracker on one of the people in there.
Okay. Yeah, and just like sneak it onto somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, you can make a roll for that
Okay.
if you would like. Let me take a look here. It's probably just stealth, I think.
I failed this.
Blending with the crowd has okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make a. Okay, you're gonna hate me for this. Make a stealth roll.
No, you know what? I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna do.
I
know
can't
you're
sit on these destiny points forever.
I know what you're gonna do.
So I'm gonna use a destiny point.
Are you kidding me?
And so the difficulty is gonna be slipping this. What do you want to do? You want to just like put it in someone's pocket, or?
I want to go up and I want Lena to try and use her charms to like woo a guy, and as she's doing it, she like fills him up and then slips it in his pocket.
I'm gonna need to see this role played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
All
gonna,
right.
I'm gonna need to see this scene.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you can make a charm roll first to like disarm the dude. So let me take that point back, and we'll
Okay.
we'll use it in a second. So you go to a cantina. And the cantina is like pretty, I would say it's probably pretty abandoned, like, because it's, it's a kind of a time of chaos. People are at home, they're following Imperial protocol, but there's, a couple of people. There's the bar. The bar is operated by a droid. So there's just like a little 3PO with like a towel over his arm. And so you come in, and there's a couple of people, and there's one guy sitting at the bar, and he's got a big tall like plastic like can or whatever, a beverage holder, and he looks like he's got a 1,000-yard stare. He's just kind of like looking at the wall and just like taking a drink. He's got a big smear of like dried blood on his face. When you walk in, he's like finishing the drink, and the droid comes over and he's like, "Would sir like another?" And he's like, yeah. The droid brings him another drink. He like puts his like cred stick into the droid's little like chest, and he pulls it out, and he's like, "Just keep him coming." And the droid sort of wanders off. So you walk in, and there's just like news broadcast playing like repeated footage of the explosions and like, chaos on Terrace and all this stuff.
I reach for my pocket knife and I hold it up to my tank top, and I cut it down to where there's like a lot of, and I push up my boobs. There's a lot of cleavage showing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so are you wearing like, are you still carrying your armor around in a bag?
I was about to say, aren't you in armor? I would love it if you were just like pushing up armor.
I have a bag. Or I'd say like a lot of it's just still in the bag. Like I haven't equipped it yet because I mean I had to go get that stuff removed and then I wouldn't be in my armor.
I was just well, because the thing, like, if you're wearing your armor, it's fine because you could just turn your arm, like turn off like functional armor mode and go into sexy armor mode, and it just reconfigures.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into sexy armor mode now.
It depends.
Suddenly it's like
Yeah, totally. The chest plate drops, separates.
The midriff disappears and it becomes a bikini bottom.
Yeah, it becomes bikini armor suddenly.
Super weird. Yeah, you just like turn a knob, the sexy
Weird
knob.
how that works.
Yeah. Funny. It's like someone else is drawing your character. All right, yeah. So you Rob Liefeld your armor, and you come in, and what do you do? So he's sitting there drinking.
I look around at the TV screens and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I walk up and I'm like, oh my god, bartender, can you just get me a shot? It's been such a bad day. And I'm like right next to him too.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yes, ma'am. Terrible day for everyone." And he like picks up a bottle of some kind of like synthahol and like pours you a shot of it and sets it on the counter. And he's like, "Yes, just terrible."
And I take the shot immediately, and I'm like, "Oh, that was so good. Can I get another?" And I look over at the guy, and I'm like, "Oh, what's wrong? Were you out there in that stuff?"
He looks up at you. He kind of like looks you up and down. Are you? So you are in your armor?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks you up and down, and he nods, and he's like, "Yeah. I drove a cab. Shakes his head and kind of like looks down into his drink.
And I look into his drink as well, like just being completely oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so you drove a cab and you lost your car?
He kind of like looks at you, and he's like, he looks like he's trying to decide whether to like talk to you or not. Can you make a charm roll?
Fuck. Okay. Oh, I didn't do difficulty.
Yeah. So two purple dice, but give yourself an advantage. Give yourself a boost die.
I want him to be like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gay.
I'm not interested.
No, I'm not into bounty hunter types. Okay, take a strain, but you succeed.
Okay.
So it's not even so much that it's you that he's interested in. It's just that he like there's somebody asking him about things. So he's like, he's like, I had passengers when the building next to me disintegrated. Huge piece of duracrete and fell on the cab. I barely got out, but he like looks down and you can see him like kind of struggling with some very significant like feelings of pain.
And you see like my expression sort of like lose some of the cockiness that I'm trying to put on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I can only imagine. I was nearby and I saw people come out of that and they were hurt. And I was like, oh yeah, I got hurt. And I sort of like lift up my shirt, but I lift it up way too far to where I'm clearly showing underboob on, and I'm like acting like I don't even know. And I'm like, it shows like the bandage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he kind of like he looks at the injury and notices your underboob, and he kind of sighs. And
I'm like, no, it's
This
fine.
guy's like this.
I'm fine. No,
Like the worst guy in the fucking.
I just want to point out if this works, this proves the complete failure of mankind in general. This dude saw people die and he's like, yeah, but I can get laid though. That is so sad. That says so much. I'm heartbroken.
yeah, and he like
we're on terrace, okay? Maybe he's like that.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he kind of sighs and he's like maybe there just isn't anywhere that's safe anymore. He kind of like looks at you.
I'm trying so hard.
There's a lot of good lines here, Pocket.
Well, I know a place that's safe.
And he takes a long, soul-searching look at you, and then just drinks the rest of his drink, like puts it down, and just like stands up.
And I immediately like get up really close to him, and I get my face just like inches from. Is he taller than me or shorter than me or?
I think you're probably around the same height.
Okay, well I get like right in his face, and I'm like, so what do you think? And I like start to move my hands along like his back and down to like his pants.
Yeah. So he kind of like drunkenly like takes out his like he's got his like some credits and like drops a couple of them on the bar and kind of like looks at them and looks at you, like is this enough? Like it's all the money I have left after drinking so much. So.
And I get like I bring my mouth next to his ear and I go, oh, it's plenty. And then my hands like dip into his pockets and I pull him closer.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm doing that, that's when I try to slip in the tracker.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I don't think you need to roll for him to notice him getting the tracker planted on him. I think that's fine. And I think because this is Star Wars, we fade to black. Someone writes a lot of fan fiction about the next scene, but we don't get to see that.
I will accept all written fan fiction. At Jesse Cox on
canon.
Twitter, send it.
As canon.
As canon. It is canon.
Yeah, this part is for you to fill in on your own, Tumblr.
The more huts you involve, the better.
Yeah, feel free to get the bartender droid in on the action. Whatever other Star Wars bullshit you want to throw in, it's all yours.
Me and Nub shows up, Han Solo and Chewie show up. Like we were just stopping.
Why not? They take you back to Lando's place.
Oh.
So later, after having ditched the tracking device, where do we find you? Where do you all meet up again?
I comms and say I'm on my way down. And
So you ask them to stay in the cantina and then you head that way?
yeah.
Okay.
So I immediately, as soon as I'm done, I comms and say I'm on my way down to meet them. So that's,
Okay.
I guess I would meet them where they are.
All right.
All right.
So
How much time has passed, by the
Because
way?
it's been about 7 fucking hours.
Yeah, how much time has passed? Because
We did not have sex for 7 hours, okay? And we probably didn't even do that. He didn't have enough for that.
people in Star Wars never have sex with other people in Star Wars. Babies just appear out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and that's not what happened.
Oh my god.
So
Midichlorians.
All right.
midichlorians. That's right. People don't. There's no fucking in Star Wars. So yeah, where are you? Whether like you could either wait in the cantina and just like hang out for a while, or you could meet somewhere else. It's up to you guys.
No, but how much time passed though?
Like
2
a couple
hours,
hours. Yeah,
We'll just stay in the cantina.
Yeah, I mean, we'd just still be in the cantina.
sure.
We're under protection here.
A little peeved that it's been several hours.
I have a question. How much money did I make?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good question. I mean you got some experience, multi-class into the prostitute class now. Yeah, I mean you could just take all the money he had left. So let's see how much Night of Passion with Bounty Hunter Lana Jory costs.
This is a role we're doing. This is
Yeah.
a role where I've never been happier to be on an RP in my
This is
life.
the thing. This is the thing that's happening. So let's say you make 114 credits.
Jesus.
You have 114.
We should just whore you out like every fucking night.
Hold on. I gave that guy 100 credits and I didn't even get a handy, so I'm
Yeah.
a little
robbed.
pissed. I got robbed.
I didn't expect it, but here we are. This is later. We can look back on this as the episode where it became about owning a brothel, I guess. Like, fuck it, just brothel and terrace.
Yeah.
We're giving up this Empire
we
game.
give up our life in the Empire
Yeah.
and run a nice brothel.
We're
Yep.
called the dark side.
Otto's the bouncer. Theron handles the money. And
Rockstar, yeah,
Belsa
Rockstar
is the
Entertainment.
Everyone
manager.
likes it dimly lit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rockstar Entertainment presents Balance of Power. So, so you made off with. I mean, that was both the money he had on him, and like he took you back to like his apartment, and he had some more that you like found while you were there. You just kind of grabbed him and took off.
He passed out drunk,
Yeah, totally.
so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
took his shit.
So
Totally.
technically, you didn't even have to sleep with him. You got
Who
him back
said
to
I
the
did?
apartment.
Who
And
Yeah, I mean, remember, we're leaving
said I
that part to the internet to decide what happened. So, went to the
The
apartment.
internet are going to
Don't-
decide that they
Pocket,
just
don't do that. Don't
They
let the internet
can't.
decide.
They went to the apartment, and then an hour and a bit later, Lana Jory left with more money than she started with. And
Can we
that's
make it canon that everyone thinks that it was the room was shaking and the walls were, it was the guy passed out and Lana just having like a fun ice cream party by herself and like jumping on the bed and like
singing into a hairbrush.
just singing Gwen Stefani
yeah.
for the space version.
Well, that got weird. So,
I ain't no Jabba Hutt girl. Like that.
cool. Well, so Jesse has gotten in on the ground floor with the fan fiction. So there's number one. So you're in the cantina, the rest of you, and the vibe in the cantina has gone from the initial sort of shock of like, oh god, what's happened? And like people are paying attention to the news feeds, but the news feeds start to I think that over the next hour, from the safety of his office, the Moff Rokat makes another statement about. You see, like this is what I was talking about. This so-called new republic and their claims for peace. I remember the Death Star. You remember what happened? Their terrorist attack on our defense facility, and like this is just another tragedy put upon us, brave Imperial citizens, by the filthy rebels. They're nothing more than terrorists, and now we on Terrace can show that we've bled for the Empire, and we will make them bleed. And he introduces, this is TK-161. These are his men. We are sending these stormtroopers out into the city to hunt down these rebel scum. And if you know anything, if you see anything, tell us. And
right
he
when
provides.
He says that, I walk in. I'm like, and I get really close to the back of Theron's head, and I go, I know something.
Yeah, so here she is, the prodigal bounty hunter returns.
Theron
I have
doesn't
to add, Dad.
Oh, it got weird. It got
It's making it weirder.
Got a little
It's got
weird.
worse.
Weird.
I'm back, Dad.
Theron doesn't move, but like pulls up a chair and like right next to him and sort of taps it to sit down.
I sit down and look at him, and I'm like, yeah, so I got arrested.
Arrested.
Yeah, I got arrested and released with the
By
promise.
who? What authority? Not Imperial authority. Who arrested you?
Oh, definitely the rebels.
You were with the rebels in the rebel base. What do you know?
Some names. I know where they dropped me off.
Tell me everything.
Is it Commander Nolly?
Yeah, Commander Nolly.
Yeah. I'm like, well, the lady was a real bitch, Dad, and her name was Commander Nolly. Very decorated. She's the one that's been close to Greenskin. She's basically the right-hand man in that.
And you met with these higher-ups. Did you find out what they were planning?
Oh, yeah. I had to think. Well, I mean, what they're planning is they want to take you down. They want me to kill all of you, to deal with you, and then they're going to take care of them off.
And you're not going to kill us, so why did they let you go?
Because they want me to kill you, and I told them I would.
And they did not follow you?
Oh, about the tracker. Yeah. So there's a funny story. Earlier I went and got it removed, and I just maybe very casually planted it on a guy.
So there was a tracker on someone else in the city, and you are going to assassinate us. And what do you want to do now?
Well, I figured we'd go take them down.
And you know where their base is?
I know where they dropped me off. Adam, I have a question.
Yes.
They threw me out of a building, and that's the building I'm assuming they were holding me in.
I mean, they put the bag on your head for a reason.
I
So
assume
you
that
believe
was
them
like-
there.
like
You
a-
also know the cantina where they were having meetings in the middle
Yeah.
city, right? It's not too far from here.
Yeah, well then I say, well, I know where they have meetings. I know where I've met Greenskin.
So if we return there and you're with us, what do you think will happen?
Do you have control of the situation still? Have you checked?
I can't check on anything. All I know is there are 5 hours left, so we better come to some solution very quickly, eh?
You can't make a phone call.
Where? How?
These things called phones.
Maybe the rebels have a phone I could use. Maybe we should ask them. Where do we go?
And I say, okay. And I grab, like, does anyone have a drink on the counter?
Yeah, there's drinks on the table.
Oh, then I grab one of the drinks and I chug it, and then I just start to walk out. I'm like, follow me.
Okay. Yeah, Otto, Lana drinks your drink.
Yeah. I just kind of like stare at her when she walks out. I go, she drank my fucking drink.
Oh, grow up, Otto.
I just like call the bar tap over and point to
Yeah.
one more.
So I think when you're like, let's get out of here, and you stand up, you get ready to go. We went to the doctor's office, but now instead of this like orderly scene where everyone's sitting, everyone is like on the floor with their like hands behind their head. All the patients and stuff, they're like down on the ground. The droid that was like standing, like handing out numbers and like keeping track of people, has a big smoking hole in his chest, and he's like lying on the ground. There's like smoke pouring out of him. And standing up, there are 2 rebel like commandos wearing like bandanas, holding blaster rifles, and they're like shouting at people like, "Stay down!" And we pan through the room to the doctor's office, and the doctor is being held up against the wall. He's obviously been hit in the face a couple of times. There's like blood, streaming down from his nose. He looks terrified. And Corporal Nolly, she's got her bandana on, but we recognize her eyes. We can see her face. We like cut in on her as she like punches him in the face again. And she's like, "Where is she?" And he's like, I don't know. And he like punches him again. And she's like, "Don't lie to me." She lets him go, and he like kind of slides to the floor, and he's like kind of sobbing, and she's like, she turns the console, and it's got like the picture of you and all this false information, and she takes her blaster out, and she's like, "Let's go over this again," and like points it at him, and we like cut away. So
Wow, talk about evil. Gee.
yeah, they're pissed. They're pissed. You slipped out from under their fingers.
They're supposed to be good.
I mean,
So-
good, evil. Hi.
So have we made it out of the bar? Have we left the bar and passed
Yeah,
our
yeah, we-
hired goons?
We can cut back to you. Where do you guys go? Where are you headed?
I would like to pull Lana aside for a second before we like into an alley or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
think Belsa's paying for the drinks and Otto's like finishing his last drink. You guys are like out the front.
Yeah.
Sure.
I pull Lana aside into the alley, and nothing aggressive, but I like death glare, like stare daggers at her, and I'm like, "What did they say to convince you to kill us?"
And I say, you see my face go white, obviously, and I just look very nervous, and I get like a shaky voice, and I'm hesitant. I'm like, they said they have my son, and I just look at you dead in the eyes, and my eyes get all glassy, and I'm like, I'm going to kill them.
You can confirm that they have this?
They showed me video feed. I mean, I obviously I was emotional. I didn't get a good look. I tried, but I got pissed and angrily said that I would do what they want just so I could get out.
Theron lets out a sigh and says, Do you not see what the rebellion really is, what these people are? They're no worse than us. What I try to do is maintain order in a chaotic galaxy.
Come
And
again.
though my methods seem dramatic and evil to some, it's the only thing keeping us from the madness that is rebellion. Open anarchy. The minute they knew everything about you, they used it against you.
I just look at you and I'm like, yes, that's why they need to die.
And I like sort of walk my back towards you and walk towards the other end of the alley, and then come back around and say, if you help us kill them, I guarantee I will send agents and your son will be free, and you may go as well. This will be your last mission.
I drop my head and I'll do it. I'll make sure that we go through with this and it works.
And Theron puts a hand on her shoulder and just has like a wry smile. It's like, good, let's end this.
And you can see that I'm tense and like my fists are just like, there's like my knuckles are white and you can see I'm upset and ready and angry. So
I can feel it from the bar. Feels good.
Yeah. So meanwhile, back in the bars, you're paying just Belsa. Yeah, you're just smiling away. Yeah, Otto. So Otto, I think you're finishing that one last drink you got, and you notice Belsa. You're just like grinning as she's paying the tab.
I just kind of look at her and say, reminiscing of happier times, Elsa?
Something like that.
I just kind of say, yep. Finish my drink. Put it on the table. We should get going.
I just follow Otto. Out of the bar.
Okay. All right.
Lana.
So you leave the bar and as a group head out to where you want to go back to the cantina where you first met with Nale and like the VIP area where they had all the stormtrooper helmets.
oh yeah. I lead them back there. Oh, are we gonna call like in stormtroopers or anything? like tell them of our whereabouts or anything?
Yeah, I mean, they're in the upper city pretending to look for you. They're like
we're on our
really
own.
kicking in doors and
We're
causing
rebels
trouble.
right now. If they come
Yeah.
to our aid, then it's obvious that we're not rebels.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I lead them back and I show them the room that I first met with Greenskin, and
Okay.
and Commander Nolly. And I'm like, this is where we met. This is where I talked to Greenskin and his group of misfits.
Is this a good time for a break, Adam?
Yeah, that's perfect. We'll
Okay.
take a break here and then we'll do that.
Cool. Let's take our final break then. We'll come back and finish up the show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Balance Power. We'll see you then.
Yeah.
yeah.